Hey y'all, this is my review for Porsha'S Family Matters, Episode 2. Thank y'all a lot for watching the last video. I am very surprised at the numbers. I didn't really think y'all rock with Porsha like that, but apparently y'all do, as well as the haters. I actually like this show, and it's not that bad, and it's not boring, so I'm in for it. You know, there's I think 6 episodes altogether. I'm in, but let's get into it. So we open with Porsha meeting her sister at some restaurant. Where is Porsha going dressed like this? And then the Coming to America hair. Y'all know the one where Vanessa Calloway's ooh, that whole big ass hair situation. So we find out that Porsha is still celebrating her birthday, and then the final get together is a cookout where all her family's gonna be attending. So she's talking about that. Her sister tells her that she met up with Dennis, from the last episode. She tells her how Dennis had a problem with Porsha not allowing him to bring a date. So she tells Porsha, I told him he could bring a date. And of course this bothers Porsha, which I really don't know why. If you're so happy with the guy that you're engaged to now, what does it matter who Dennis brings? Porsha is heated by this. She said, if you think I'm gonna let some random woman come in my house and come and sit at my table with my man, oh, Porsha. I'm indifferent to her, but this show is not painting her in the best light. But I'm trying to be objective, y'all. At the end of the day, it's still Porsha's house, and she's allowed to have whoever in her house who she wants to. Lauren tells Porsha that Dennis said that he thinks that she's still in love with him. And Porsha's like, I am in love with my fiance. I am happy. If you were happy, you would just let Dennis bring who he wants and let him know that that doesn't faze you. But I digress. Lauren suggests that she talks to Simon, but Porsha doesn't want to. Like I said in the last episode, it is Porsha's world and everybody's just orbiting around her. What she says goes. And she's basically telling everybody to fall in line. So Lauren reminds Porsha about all the social media hoopla and how it's affected her life, and she's saying that Nate, her ex-boyfriend, doesn't even like Simon because of the whole social media thing. And that's when Porsha set off and don't nobody care what Nate think. And then by the look of Lauren's face, she is very annoyed by that. And she's like, why is everything about you? I'm talking about me. She hit a sore spot. Apparently, Nate is her on-again, off-again boyfriend that isn't good for her, and Porsha's telling her that. She's like, I've been with him for a year and a half. It's about me. It's not about you. Well, girl, I'm sorry to tell you, but you on Porsha's show, and you just a side character. So that was Porsha low-key checking you hold up. It's not about you and your ex-boyfriend. This is about me. That's how I took it. Wow, Lauren just burst out into tears, and these are real tears, too. Porsha goes and comfort her and says she's sorry. She just says, she doesn't like how Nate treats her. But anyway, Lauren says she's planning a retreat for her, Porsha, and the family. So next scene, we were with Dennis and his mother, Miss Gina. After watching this episode, I did not know how much I was gonna like Miss Gina. So Dennis also has little PJ with him, and they're just toy shopping. And he's telling his mom about the post that he made under Porsha's picture and how his phone's been blowing up because of it. Dennis knew what he was doing, putting that under Porsha's post. He was being petty and he was trolling. I'm glad he at least copped to it in his confessional. Dennis' mom is trying to get the tea out of her son. She's saying, they moving fast, huh? How long they been together? She moved fast with you. I'm pretty sure Miss Gina has called Porsha a hussy at some point. And then we're reminded by production that we have seen Miss Gina before and Porsha go at it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I totally forgot about this. If y'all watch my Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews, I was so tired of Porsha's and Dennis' storyline. Are they or aren't they? That I just fast forward through all of it. Dennis' mom asked him, is he going to Porsha'S Cookout? And he's like, well, I look like going to that cookout if I can't bring a work with me. Now, I didn't even know what work meant, so thankfully the producers gave us a definition on the screen. The Dennis Dictionary, work, his old lady, chick, freak of the week, aka Porsha's worst nightmare. This is a messy ass show, y'all. Yes, Miss Gina in her confessional look. Oh my God. She has arrived and the spotlight is on her. She's just giving her opinion on Porsha not allowing Dennis to bring a date. And she is telling the truth. She's saying Porsha isn't allowing him to bring another woman because she wants to be in control of everything. I mean, hey, like I am in love with Miss Gina already because she's telling it how it is. So next scene is the day of Porsha'S Cookout. We are at Porsha'S house. All her family is there. Dennis arrives and he is getting the looks already. And this family, the way they're looking at him is just like how my family would be doing. There's this one lady here related to Porsha or a friend of the family. She is smiling like a Cheshire cat. So Portia's still upstairs getting ready to make her grand entrance. Her sister comes upstairs, they talking. Her gift that she gives Portia is a session with her spiritual counselor. And she's having her talk to her on FaceTime for a bit. Then we get to learn a little bit more about Lauren and her confessional. She doesn't work for Porsha anymore in any capacity. That's a good thing. And she does her own thing. And now she's focusing on a career of meditation and yoga. So we're back downstairs with Dennis and the rest of Portia's family. This woman in the red dress is a key. Like, not only was she like grinning and smiling as soon as he walked in, she goes up to him and says, "Now Simon, you gonna keep this wife?" What? How could she think that was appropriate? She wants camera time. That's what she wants. Wow, this party's a cute setup. We also find out that this is Simon's first time interacting with all of Portia's family at once. So we're with Lauren talking to Londi. I think that's her cousin's name. Lonnie or Londi. Anywho, Londi's asking her, "Oh, did you talk to Dennis?" And then she said, "Yeah." He's like, "How could you let her do this?" And then she's saying she's been defending Porsha since day one. She says that, but if you tell Porsha something that she don't agree with, she'll come back at you or probably cut you out or stop talking to you. And that's exactly what I said. Like, Porsha wants to be surrounded by yes people. And she is, pretty much. Sorry, y'all know I had to get the ring light out. You know it gets dark early as fuck now. But yeah, we see Lauren in her confessional confirming what I said on my last review, that Porsha is surrounded by yes people. And she said it's hard keeping your job with Porsha when you tell her the truth. She tells Lonnie that she told Dennis that he could bring a date if he wants. And then Lonnie's just like, you would have thought she found out somebody was murdered by the look on her face. She's like, "You did not." And then called Lauren messy. So now we're back at the table and Simon is now being grilled by Portia's family. Like, they're all like... So then the family finds out that Portia will be his fourth wife. And they're just like, "Oh my Lord." One thing about the elders in a black family, they will not hold anything back. Simon says something interesting. He says out of the marriages that he had, he realized that he was a rescuer. Like, he was trying to save people. I mean, with this relationship with Porsha, I mean, she don't need rescuing, but she definitely, there's incentives for her, definitely. And a lot of y'all are saying in the comments that Simon is actually broke. I don't know about that. We'll find out. I mean, they're on a reality show. It's gonna come out if it's true. And as Simon is talking, we see Dennis and his mom pull up with little PJ, and the table is very awkward right now as they're walking in. As I'm looking at Dennis and I'm looking at Simon, I'm seeing that Porsha may have a type. I know looks isn't a factor in that type though. And already the mess has begun. The family friend again, Miss Thing in the red dress, she just yells across the table, "Dennis, I thought we were gonna meet your new girlfriend." Now you know Porsha was not gonna allow that. On her show, no. This has to be weird. They're just giving their relationship compliments as Dennis just sitting by himself on the other side of the table. Now Portia's grandmother is speaking. "You a real man. Now that's what y'all both are real men. That's what real men do." I'm just gonna imitate what she said. I'm not even about to unpack the toxicity in that statement. A lot of people are getting emotional at the table. I think it's bad editing because I don't get what was so heartfelt of what was said. Even Dennis' mom is crying out. What is going on? I mean, Portia's mom, she's saying she loves Dennis and she loves Simon. And it's good that they're working it out. I've been trying to figure out who Miss Gina sounds like. And Miss Gina sounds like that viral TikTok person who dresses like the church lady in the wig. Now y'all see I'm gonna be doing this today. Oh, y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't know her name. But Miss Gina sounds just like her. But anywho, Miss Gina says she's glad that everyone can put aside their differences, you know, for the sake of Portia's daughter. And then Portia's grandmother says, "Well said, but, you know, we just gotta point out how Dennis, you know, leads a certain life." Getting awkward. And she says, "I have a son just like Dennis." And she continues saying that they both love the ladies. ladies. Dennis' mom hurries up and comes to his defense and says, all men love ladies. Well, I don't, but I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, even though Dennis is making sense, he is a philanderer and was the one that cheated on Porsha while she was pregnant. So we didn't forget about you, sir, even though you're making the most sense. Uh-oh, it looked like it's going to be a little back and forth between Portia's grandmother and Dennis' mom. And why did Portia's grandmother get up and go on that side? Just make it even more uncomfortable. So her grandmother goes over to Dennis, puts her hand on his shoulder. I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm just saying you just remind me of my son. She basically saying that Dennis is a playboy, and Gina's mom disagrees and says, he's not a playboy. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. I always fast forwarded through Porsha and Dennis's mess because I was tired of it. Miss Gina is obviously annoyed and saying that all men make mistakes, and it's getting more and more awkward. I just don't want the elders getting into it and throwing blows. Oh, we see Miss Gina, her confessional. She's saying that Portia's grandmother was out of line, and let's not forget, Simon is still a married man. He's cheating in the eyes of the Lord. Amen. Keep her on this show. So thankfully that confrontation de-escalated and they proposed a toast to Porsha and Dennis, I guess. So it's the next day. We're going through a couple of montages between Porsha and Simon. Side note, who is Simon's friend Ronnie? They look like a good early 40s, and let's just say I wouldn't mind. Mr. Red Shirt. Y'all go back and look at who I'm talking about. But anyway, next scene, we're at Porsha's house and she's with Lauren and she's trying to figure out what to wear on her date with Dennis. Well, not date, but they're meeting up. She's trying to not dress too provocatively. The thing is already, she's worried about what she's wearing. Just wear what you want. If you're not in love with this man, you don't care who he's dating, just wear what you want. But no, she's trying to wear something like matronly or something to hide her curves. So production asked Porsha in her confessional, is this the first time that you and Dennis have been alone since you've been with Simon? The way she answers this question, saying, me and Dennis have been broken up for 11 months. I don't... Girl, now Porsha, I'm not going to be like your sister and try to defend you. I got to hold you accountable. It's not like you lying. Porsha is showing her sister different outfits and she's trying not to give out mixed signals. The fact that she's putting this much effort in just goes to show that she may still have feelings for Dennis. So fast forward with Porsha and Dennis meeting up to have dinner together. I don't know why she chose this maternity dress, but it definitely is hiding her entire figure. It's almost like a muumuu. So Dennis is sitting down. Porsha asks him to pull out her chair for her. Why should he have to do that? I get that it's the most chivalrous That's a word. I get that it's the most chivalrous thing to do, but I would be like, waiter, can you pull out her seat for her? Dennis is starting with the shade already. He tells Porsha, how much time you got? I know you got to check in. And then Portia's like, oh, he knows where I am. Not this server coming to the table in this bus driver wig. Y'all know I can't let a crazy unit by without commenting on it. So I guess the gist of their conversation is talking about Portia's new relationship, and he's just saying privately it looks crazy, but publicly I'm going to support you. So now we're getting into the timeline again, and Dennis is saying they broke up in January. Porsha is saying they broke up in Christmas. They were going off and on, off and on, off and on. Porsha says, on Christmas Day, I said for you to bring the ring, and if you bring it, we're going to work on it. Christmas Day you came, you didn't bring the ring, so we were done. And Porsha reminds him, like, you're the one that cheated. We would still be together if you didn't cheat it. And then Dennis is like, you still mad about that? What? Wow. My mom is still mad at my dad for cheating on her, and it's been well over 2 decades. Anywho, Porsha says in her confessional that Simon treats her like a queen. She doesn't have to worry about him. Yet. She says that it has nothing to do with his money. It don't? It don't. I don't know, Porsha. Like, you ain't got to tell a lie. Just say you want that extra security. That's all. They are going back and forth at the dinner table now. Portia's calling him emotional. She didn't know he was feeling emotional about this. He's saying, like, maybe I am. Do they still love each other? I'm thinking Dennis still loves Porsha, ironically. Porsha tells him that she knows what he told to Lauren about her still being in love with him, and he says, yeah, I said it, and I still love you too. Interesting. Side note, I just knew this was Fogo the Child. I was like, oh wait, they bringing me to the table. Was that Fogo the Child? Not Porsha doing this with a fork. So she's asking Dennis, like, you're not even ready to go to a cookout. Like, you talking about you want to bring a woman, but you can't even address them as women. You calling them pieces and work. What are these women's names? Then she takes the fork and pulls her weave back so she can hear them. How are y'all not entertained by this? I know how y'all feel about Porsha, but this show is entertaining. I'm sorry. So Dennis is trying to change the topic, and now he's asking for gifts back. Like, where that Versace robe at? So they both leave the restaurant. We see them leaving, and why Porsha got on this moo-moo? Like, of course people gonna think she pregnant wearing this. Porsha says in her confessional that she has a lot of work to do, but she does want to blend her family, meaning Dennis and Mama Gina. So as they're waiting at valet, Dennis gets a text message, and apparently it's a thirst trap sent by some woman, and Porsha sees it. And she's calling him out saying, did you really just do that in front of me? Like, basically saying that he did that on purpose. These two have some type of rivalry going on between them. They're trying to see who can one-up the other the fastest. And Porsha is winning at this race. So next scene, we're with Lauren meeting up with her spiritual counselor. And then we find out that she invited the whole family to the retreat, including Dennis and his mom. So during this session, Porsha's coming, Porsha's cousin Storm, who still hasn't gotten a confessional yet. We don't really know what she's like yet. And then Porsha's aunt, her dad's sister. Ugh, this is the best fiends tea. I might have to fast forward. Okay, I'm glad I didn't fast forward too much. So apparently the shaman, the spiritual advisor, the counselor, like she started, doing her chants and prayer. Porsha's aunt, I'm guessing, is getting goosebumps when she says she's calling on the ancestors because the spiritual counselor ain't black. So then I didn't know Porsha's aunt has a confessional, and she's like, she say they calling in the ancestors? Who they calling in? She continues to say that the shaman doesn't know what she's doing, is not familiar with black people, and calling in spirits? No, because we believe in demons. So her aunt just interrupts the chant and just starts doing her own thing and bringing her own spirituality into this. So after that awkward moment, they're all just talking about the retreat, which I really think is going to be an absolute disaster. Oh boy, so next scene we are with Porsha, and she's meeting up with Mama Gina one-on-one. Already the shade has started. The waiter comes to the table and Porsha's like, oh, she's allergic to garlic, so extra garlic. She was like, I'm just playing. She was not playing. So now they're getting to the topic of the cookout, and Mama Gina's talking about, what was going on, with her grandmother saying that about her son, Dennis. So Porsha is saying that her grandmother was just saying, like, yes, hold up, it's a sad moment, but let's not forget why they broke up in the first place. And she said, well, you got offended. Miss Gina is like, well, was that situation brought up to embarrass him? And Porsha's like, well, it embarrassed me too. Miss Gina's not playing around. She's like, well, actually, there's been some embarrassing situations for Dennis too. Porsha's like, well, we're not talking about Dennis right now. There is a power struggle right now at the table as they're eating mussels and wings. And Porsha comes back and says, well, you deflecting means we're not acknowledging the truth. Oh my goodness, this is the best part of this episode. So Miss Gina comes back and says, oh, you're right. So you're going to acknowledge the truth? Then Porsha says, clearly we have a big-ass misunderstanding. Miss Gina stops her right there. Please don't use that language around me. Get her, Miss Gina. I am dying. Porsha apologizes though, but she says, you have used profanity around me too. Miss Gina says, no, I haven't. And then Portia's like, well, okay, we're gonna act brand new today. Okay. Miss Gina then tells Porsha, you need to apologize for that because I have never cursed around you. Then we see Porsha, she is holding her mule in this conversation. So she apologizes. And then Miss Gina adds insult to it and says, oh wow, I get an apology. I hope Porsha don't put hands on Miss Gina. She has come a long way. So Portia's now calling out Miss Gina on how she came for her grandmother. She was like, in the future, I just hope you do not change your tone with my grandmother. It's getting really tense right now. Miss Gina says, well, she was getting rude and disrespectful with my son. And then Portia's like, that is my grandmother? That is my grandmother. Lord, we got 3 minutes left. Portia did not expect this blowback from Miss Gina. So then she calls out her son for being a cheater. And then Miss Gina comes back, well, you were a cheater too. And then she even calls out, that's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. And she said she heard from Portia's mom that she cheated on him. I mean, they were off and on. They're fighting semantics now. And then we get Miss Gina in a confessional spilling the tea, saying when they were off and on, she had a conversation with Portia's mom, and she was saying that how Dennis was angry at Portia for entertaining this gentleman in 2020. Portia met her match on this show. Finally, someone who's giving it to Portia. I'm sorry, I love you, Portia, but you deserve every bit of this. Then Miss Gina says, I held this information in my back pocket to use at the right moment. Portia says in the nicest way that Miss Gina is a liar and saying my mom would never tell you that I cheated on Dennis. And they're going back and forth. And then Portia brings it back to the reason why she asked Miss Gina to dinner, which is to invite her to the retreat that Lauren is organizing. And Miss Gina obliges and says she'll be glad to come so they can work on their differences. And then they end this conversation with a toast. And you just feel that they do not like each other. And that is where the episode ends. This episode was better than the first one. I am all in, y'all. This was very entertaining. And Mama Gina is the star of this episode. I enjoyed her thoroughly as much as her confessional look. So please, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this episode. I'm going to get to editing this and get to Salt Lake City after. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.